This is Susan Maccarelli from Beyond Your Blog. Recently, I've had a lot of questions about scheduling blog related tasks and activities, so I thought I'd do a little screencast and take you through my personal system, as well as the spreadsheet I use to schedule all my submissions, and that's available on beyondyourblog.com. It's just a free download when you subscribe to the newsletter, or if you're already subscribed to the newsletter and you didn't get it in the you didn't download it yet, let me know and I can get that to you. First, let's start with my personal blog scheduling system. It looks really wordy and like there's a lot of text here on the screen, but that's a lot of it's just sort of my gibberish abbreviations, and you don't need to worry about that. But I just want to take you through kind of the structure of the spreadsheet. Basically, you can see down at the bottom, I have a bunch of little tabs. Each one's for a different week. This is not fancy, and it may not be your cup of tea, but it does work for me. So it's just a spreadsheet I made last January when I got serious about my personal blog, and I manage tasks for all three of my blogs on it, which is Beyond Your Blog, my personal humor blog, Pecked to Death by Chickens, and then also an affiliate site I run called woodentrainsets.com. So you'll see abbreviations for those as we go. But again, each tab is a week. I started with week 1 way back in January of 2014, and now you can see where I'm actually up here on week 51 is where I'm working today. So today is Thursday, the 18th of December. The way I structure it is, again, each tab is a week, and then within that week I have 3 columns. Column A is the date, day of the week and the date. Column B is which blog the task is for, and if you only have one blog, you don't even need that column, but if you're working on multiple things, then you might want to have that like I do. And then the third column is just the actual tasks that you have to complete. So probably the most work up front to create something like this is just putting your tasks in. And so you can just kind of, put in the basic stuff up front. So, if you're posting Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, then, put down that you have to post on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. If you are promoting on certain days, put down that and how you want to promote. Whatever it might be. So you can kind of walk through, and then just as you go about your, daily routine, as you think of more things that, I want to make sure I put this in my planner so that I do it every day or every Wednesday or whatever it is, then go ahead and do that. And in a pretty short time, you'll have all kind of your regular tasks completed or filled out, I should say, in your planner. And then as you sort of have these one-off tasks, let's say you want to submit to an anthology or something like that, you can plug those into the days when you think you'll have time to get to it. So again, I'll show you kind of what I'm working on today. Everything that's color coded just means that I've done it. So Monday, I just felt like using yellow, so I colored everything yellow as I finished it, and so forth. So down here, I'm on Thursday, and I was actually playing around with this. I haven't really done most of these things. So there you go. I've really only done the one that shows up in red. I have the rest of these things yet to go. Right now I'm doing the QuickTime blogging, which is what I'm recording for you. So as soon as I'm done here, I can color code that red as well. It really doesn't matter what colors you pick, or you may want to do something else besides coloring it to show that you've completed it, but that's kind of up to you. So here you can see I've got a bunch more tasks left for today. Most of them are for Beyond Your Blog. I've got a few for Pecked to Death by Chickens, and as I get to them, I will, shade them as completed as well. I'll usually go through first thing in the morning and sort of put them in the order of what I want to get accomplished. So if this strategic planning was a priority for me, I might have put that up here at the top, and then I probably would have done it first, just so I can kind of work my way down the page. But that's, again, also up to you. That's not a priority for me today, so I'm going to move it back to where I had it. Now, the next thing that I do is, before I shut everything down at the end of the night, I look at what I haven't completed, which is almost every day I have something I didn't get to, and I take those things and I reallocate them. So if I said, I didn't get to my strategic planning, I'm going to go ahead and try to do that tomorrow, then I would move it down here and make it a Friday task. And then if I, maybe these other two things, okay, I didn't get to them. Tomorrow's looking really booked. Let me move them to this weekend. Now, I don't have Saturday and Sunday on here. I typically do. It's just that we're coming up on a holiday week, which I'm kind of taking off, so I don't have those. But you understand what I'm saying, hopefully, and that you're just kind of going to reallocate anything you didn't get to a different day. For those, I might say, you know what, I'm going to work on those after Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and take those and move them not to next week, my holiday week, because you can see I'm trying not to schedule a lot, but I'm going to move them to my next week here after Christmas and put them into a day when I think that I can actually get to them. And they may get moved again if I don't get to them, but at least I'm kind of working through it in a kind of systematic way. And I'll go ahead and put this back because who knows, maybe I will get to it today. But anyways, that's kind of how I do it. And then I'll usually, whatever day is what I'm working on, I'll usually shade that in gray. That's just for me, because especially like when I get to this new week here on 12/29, for some reason, if I don't see colors, everything just sort of jumbles together. So usually what I'll do is just say, okay, I'm working on all these Monday tasks today. Let me gray them out, and then I can see for that day, okay, this is what I'm trying to get done. That's just a personal kind of preference that I do. And then as I get kind of close to where I don't have any weeks left, so you can see here I've only gone up to week 57 to kind of schedule out in advance, and then I've got some other tabs that you don't need to worry about that I use for my podcasts and stuff. But once I get close to where I don't have any weeks left to sort of pre-plan things, I'll go ahead and just copy and paste these into another week. These are mostly things that I do every week. There may be something in here that I stuck in that is a one-off task that I won't want to copy onto the next week, but I'll just copy it, throw a week 58 in here, for example, and then paste it, and then I'll update the date. So really this is going to be my last spreadsheet finished, or my last tab finished with February 1st. So here I'm going to start with February 2nd, February 3rd, and so forth. So I just kind of update that for every week. I'm going to delete this because it's not really completed. I'll go back and do that another time. But anyways, that's kind of how I do it. It works for me. You can kind of get into your own groove on it or change it up a little bit, but that's kind of how I do it. Now, I also have a spreadsheet, like I mentioned. It's available for download on my website when you sign up for the newsletter. If you are already signed up for the newsletter, it should have come out in a couple of newsletters where you could have downloaded it, but if you didn't, let me know, and I can get that to you. So this spreadsheet is really just for tracking your submissions. If you create a spreadsheet like the one I just showed you for your blog tasks, you can always just pull these tabs into that spreadsheet so it's all in one place. I just happen to have it separate because I wanted to put it on my blog for download just for the submissions. Anyway, I'll walk through one with you. So I have two tabs on this one. This is basically how whenever I submit something for consideration, I want to track that because I will not remember where I submitted it, when I submitted it, if I can submit it somewhere else, or what's going on. So I just write everything down. This was one that I recently just had accepted at Momaload, so I really would have put this in before the fact, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put it in now. Just put in the title. I'll put in, the date that I wrote it. This, again, if you haven't submitted it yet, you could maybe put some notes in about potential sites that you want to consider just for your own reference. When maybe if you get a rejection, you can go back and say, well, where else did I want to submit to? So that's just sort of a free form field there. Here's where you can put if it's been previously published on your own blog. In this case, no, Momaload does not accept things that have been previously published, so this one was not. But that again helps you to kind of think through, well, wait a second, did I already put this on my own blog? So do I need to focus just on sites that accept things that have been previously published and so forth? And then again, this would just be if you have multiple blogs. Since I do, I'm going to make a note that I published this on, well, I didn't pre-publish this, but if this had been on my Pecked to Death by Chickens or Beyond Your Blog or whatever, I could put down which blog. If not, if you don't have multiple blogs, just skip that one. So here's where I actually put in once I start submitting. So in this case, I submitted it to Momaload. I submitted it, I believe, on 12/6. And then here's where you can put the status. So is it pending? I would have put pending until I heard. And then in my case, I know it's been accepted. Let's say it was rejected. Then I might go ahead and use this next column for the next place I want to submit to. And I could, duplicate these 3 columns onto submission 3, 4, 5, and so on if I keep submitting it to additional places, assuming it's been, rejected, or I feel like it's okay to submit to multiple places. Let's see, then the publishing date. So in my case, it's going to be the 23rd of December. And then I can put in my point of contact. I think her name's Sarah Millar. And I could put in her email address if I want to, just the editor that you're working with. You don't have to. It's just a nice way to have everything in one place if you need to reach out to somebody. The payment amount in this case, it's to be determined based on how many views I get, so I'm not expecting any specific number. And then due date, I'm not going to worry about that yet because I don't even know if I'm going to get enough views to get paid, so I can just kind of monitor that within this spreadsheet. And then if you are getting paid, and let's say your due date, I keep clicking on the sort for some reason, let's say they were supposed to pay you on January 31st, 2015. Then you can kind of keep track of, is it pending, has it been paid, just so you don't maybe forget that, so-and-so never mailed you that $50 check or what have you. And then there's a place for notes, so anything else that you just want to remind yourself about that submission, you can do there. The other tab is all about promoting your piece, because of course once you are accepted somewhere, you want to make sure you're promoting your piece in the way that you typically do, plus any additional things that they suggest. Again, here you can put in your publishing date. So mine's supposed to be published on the 23rd. Merry Christmas. Again, you can put your point of contact in if you want to. And then I just have some other things. I can check off, like if I want to do, whoops, I guess I have there we go. So if I want to do a teaser post on my own blog pointing to this, I can do that. So once I've completed it, I can put complete, or I would probably just put pending if it's something I want to do but I haven't done yet. That way I can just come through and change all my pendings to completed once I actually do them. So then the next thing I have is comments. So I want to make sure that on day 1 when it goes up, I go in there and respond to any comments several times throughout the day. And then I usually go back also at the end of like a couple days or a week, or sometime after it's been published, and check for any additional comments. I try to subscribe to the comments if I can, but some sites don't have that, so you actually have to go in and check for those. I also put down any that I'm going to do Facebook promotion, so that's pending because I can't do it until the piece gets published. And then also under Facebook, I want to make sure I go back into Momaload's Facebook and see if they share it on Facebook, so I can like that and respond to any comments on their Facebook share as well. So I'm going to say that that's pending. So these are all things that I want to do. Twitter promotion, same thing. I'm going to go into Momaload's account and see if they're promoting it via Twitter, and hopefully they tag me, but sometimes sites don't, especially on Facebook, since there's some algorithm to tagging and tagging a site that's not as big as yours. So Momaload probably doesn't want to tag me because I don't have a thriving, probably as thriving a Facebook fan page as they do. All right, Pinterest, same thing. So I want to make sure to pin it to my boards, as well as any collaborative boards if you do that. Google Plus promotion. I also want to make sure I go into Momaload's account and +1, whatever they're sharing about my piece on Google. And then I have another thing here that I like to do is share 1 to 3 other posts from the host site via social media the week the piece is published. So at least that many. You may be doing it 2 or 3 weeks before and after, but that's definitely something I want to do. And I didn't have a pending option here, so I'm going to write pending. Or I could even post links to the sites that I want to share, or not the sites, the posts that I want to share. Or I could even say, okay, I'm going to do I'm going to include the name of some posts that I really like on that site in my teaser post. So there's a lot of ways to do it. And then I have an other category. It just depends, what else you do. I don't do Instagram, but if you do, maybe you want to make a note to share via Instagram or Stumble It or whatever else you have. One thing that Mama Load suggested was actually emailing it to friends and family, especially those that aren't maybe on social media. So that's a note that I'm going to make here. So email directly to friends and family, that kind of thing. So then I can just kind of check, I can give this a glance every day. Obviously, over time, you're going to have a lot more submissions, and you'll be able to see, what's been accepted and what what's still pending. Maybe you want to resubmit things. You can look at your promotion tracker on the day that something goes live and make sure that you're getting all those things done. Maybe you want to do a teaser post ahead of time. If you want to do a teaser post ahead of time, think back to the first spreadsheet that I showed you. I would go in there like 2 days before my post goes live, and I would make a note on my other spreadsheet there, which I actually already did here on the 23rd. Actually, I was just going to do the teaser post on the 23rd, but you know what? I'm going to give myself a task for the 22nd to do that, because sometimes teaser posts take me a little bit longer than I think they will, so I want to make sure that that gets done. Somehow my text is white. There we go. Monday, 12/22. I'm going to do Mama Load teaser post. So then you can go in here if you want to and kind of check things off as they get done. Or you may just, instead of even maintaining this spreadsheet about how to promote your submitted pieces or your featured pieces, you may just want to keep all that as separate tasks within this spreadsheet. I kind of do more of that than really maintain this, but it just depends how you like to do it. So that's it. That's how I do it. I'm sure everybody kind of has their own thing, but if you're feeling like it's all just kind of jumbled and you're having a hard time keeping things in order, you might want to come up with a spreadsheet similar to this, or with your own feel. So that's about all I got. Thanks for watching.